The Israeli military says it has struck hundreds of Hamas and Islamic Jihad targets in the Gaza Strip. Damage was seen in various areas across the Strip as residents woke up to another day of war, some looking for their belongings amongst the rubble of their homes and stores. The death toll from the fighting now stands at 1,100 in the Gaza Strip and Israel. Let's get the latest update from Tel Aviv on the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. SABC News correspondent Sarah Coates joins us live. Sarah, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time at this hour. Perhaps you could give us the latest. What is the situation like in Tel Aviv and surrounding areas at this time?
Yeah, hi there, Liz. Look, it's certainly very eerie. I actually lived here for around 6 years, not so long ago, and this is a vibrant, bustling city. It's really known as a city that never sleeps, but there are barely any people out on the streets today. There are barely any cars driving around simply because people are just too afraid. It's been an extremely traumatic 3 days for Israelis, with rockets continuing to rain into the country. Even since I've been at this location here, we've had red alert sirens ringing out, hearing loud booms in the background, which of course could be the Iron Dome missile defense system taking out these rockets sent over from the Gaza Strip. Now, let me tell you, Israel is continuing a massive bombardment of the Strip. It has also announced the complete closure of the coastal enclave, saying that no food, no water, no gas, no electricity will be allowed into Gaza. Now, this is simply to try and, cripple Hamas, which has launched this deadly, horrendous campaign on Israel over the past few days. The death toll now on this side has already risen to 800 people, and let me tell you, there are so many others missing. I was just speaking to a friend of mine. Half of her workforce cannot be located. I'm sure you've seen these horrific videos coming in from southern Israel, from all over the country, of Hamas kidnapping civilians, Hamas infiltrating this nature party, which was held there on Saturday, using hang gliders to actually get in. More than 260 bodies of young people were found in that area yesterday, and police are still trying to identify more. Now, finally, there have been a number of emergency centres set up right around the country as concerned relatives are trying to locate their loved ones. They're trying to take in things like toothbrushes, hairbrushes, anything with a DNA sample to try and just find out exactly where or get some closure where these people might be. So it's certainly an extremely traumatic time for everybody here in Israel, because everyone is simply touched in some way or another.
Sarah, thank you for that update. At this point, are there any signs or interventions from the surrounding countries as we speak?
Well, look, we did hear some reports coming in that Qatar was actually potentially looking to mediate this hostage situation. There are an unknown number of Israeli hostages being held in the Gaza Strip. We do have confirmation from the Israel Defense Forces that a number of people have been killed. There have been some horrific videos circulating on social media, which are really, honestly, too graphic to show. What we can tell you is that any potential ground operation which may be being planned, military analysts are saying that this could potentially happen within the next 48 hours. But the fact that there are Israelis being held captive in Gaza is making this situation just so much more complex, given the fact that authorities simply do not know where these people are. And if they do go in and conduct a ground operation, it could actually put these people who've already been kidnapped in more danger. So that's certainly a very worrying situation. That's the situation the government is currently facing and is trying to deal with on day 3 of this conflict.
Well, speaking about the government, is there pressure on Netanyahu as we speak, given what's transpired?
Look, there's certainly a lot of pressure on the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. This year has been a very unique one. There have been some extreme divisions, and they continue throughout Israel over this extremely controversial judicial reform. There have been protests almost every Saturday night, or every Saturday night, to be honest, since the beginning of January, with hundreds of thousands of people taking to the streets, calling on the government to drop it. Now, this is where a lot of this criticism is coming from. People are saying that too much effort, too much emphasis was put on that and not on the actual security situation. So right now, obviously, questions will be asked just as to how this could happen, given that Israel is known worldwide as just having extremely good security. So those questions will need to be raised and will need to be answered. But right now, the main, efforts are trying to bring these people back from Gaza safely to their families.
Sarah, just as we wrap up, I wonder at this point if journalists have any special protection, given the coverage that they're obviously also offering at this point.
Look, not really, to be honest. We do sometimes, when you're going down south, going to the Gaza border, there will be certain IDF personnel assigned to media, not letting media in certain locations, and also just sort of overseeing the general running of things. But, generally, I'm pretty safe here. I'm in Tel Aviv. I have a bomb shelter not far. But journalists who are covering this situation down in the south, it is pretty risky. They are putting themselves there to try and bring exactly what's happening in Israel, to the world, which is often not reported in the way that it is actually happening. So they are really in danger quite often down there. But, I must say, my colleagues who are down there are doing a very good job.